Before New York rose, before London ruled the waves, there was Amsterdam. A city of merchants, explorers, and visionaries. A city built on trade, daring innovation, and unimaginable wealth. Behind these canal facades lie stories that changed the world. And today, one house in particular holds centuries of them. Hello everyone, and welcome to Amsterdam, a city I love so much that I want to tell the stories of its craftsmanship that will change the way you see the city. Right here in front of me is Noblemen Hotel, one of the most discreet hotels in the city. In fact, if you walk past it, you will not have any idea that this is a hotel. It's built in 1666 by a French marble merchant who was obsessed by details and glory. And in fact, he went out and set out to build a timeless piece of architecture. Today we will show you Noblemen Hotel. I'm going to take you through the design rooms, show you who actually lived there, and tell the stories of the 13 rooms that they have names of famous Dutch people. And at the end of this video, you will know more about this beautiful city and the history of this country's most innovative people. Let's begin. Welcome to the Tripp Room, named after Louis and Hendrik Tripp. Check this room. What a space. Look at this light. Large windows bringing beautiful Amsterdam light inside. And immediately you see this gorgeous bed right in front of you. Look at this sheer space of the dominance of this bed in this room. It just dominates with these copper colors, kind of like this actual copper in here. But you can see immediately a detail here that you won't see here normally in the room. These pistons, the pistons are dominant space, and they take a lot of space in this room because the story of these, the room's name is that it's named after Louis and Hendrik Tripp. These were brothers from Netherlands, from here, that were weapons merchants. They created and sold cannons, cannonballs, pistols, weapons, all sorts, not just to Netherlands, but also to Sweden, Spain, United Kingdom, and France. So they were actually trading at the same time to all the empires, benefiting no matter what happened in the war. And if you come this way, I'm going to show you the most unique thing in this room. There are actually weapons. There are actual weapons in this room, not just any weapons, gorgeous hand-designed weapons. On top you see this beautiful, beautiful rifle, maybe from 17th century or 18th century. If you're a weapons connoisseur, please let me know which century these are from. And then you see these absolutely insane, handcrafted, beautiful timeless pieces, and one of them, the second one on the left that I want to show you, pay attention to, is an actual six-shooter back in days. These are so gorgeous, I can look at them forever. And the second level here they seem like they have marble on them, maybe even ivory, not sure, again, not an expert. But then the bottom one, they have actually a shield, a crossbow, and the most unique weapon I've ever seen in my life, a knife or dagger with a pistol craved inside. I mean, have a look at that. That is absolutely unique. Now let's move towards the center of the room. You see here is actually a handcrafted table. Now it's because Louis and Tripp brothers made so much money trading weapons, they were bathing in money. So the room wanted to basically pay homage to their wealth that they generated. Now also, you might see, yes, there is a gorgeous bath in the middle. I am in love with this color. It is copper, made out of completely from one piece of copper. And it shines so much light because the sun is shining right in there. And it is copper. It is incredibly beautiful. And then you have these copper-colored leather seats overlooking the Leidsegracht, which is the canal that the hotel is facing towards. And again, this light is not normal in Amsterdam. We usually don't have this, but when we have, the city really shines through. I want to pay attention to these air vents. Michael, if you have a look back closer, they're so unique, they're so cool, because it's the logo of the hotel facing each other with the floor of Elise, which is the Floris of France. And again, this room just oozes class. And one more thing I want to keep showing is this beautiful leather sofa that again is the color of the copper. It seems to be the theme of the room. The chandeliers on top, made out of pistons. It is so creative, so unique. It gives a good warm light to the room. And then towards this space is the bathroom. Really unique in this city because usually the toilets are small because Amsterdam is a very packed city, but this one has, like in all the rooms in this hotel, double shower. So for all the romantic getaways, this is your kind of a space. And then everything is gold plated, very cool. Maybe there was a Persian designer because we like gold. But look at these gorgeous, gorgeous finishes. One piece sink, very, very beautiful, absolutely vintage. And I love the lights because it's not normal to have this sort of light in the bathrooms. Usually the lights are very harsh and white, and they make you look insecure with all the wrinkles they show you. But this one is soft, blading upwards and downwards, giving a nice warm growth in the bathroom tower. And this is the Michiel de Ruyter room. Let's check it out. It's also the first time I'm saying it. Oh my God. What is this? What a room, what a space. Welcome to Michiel de Ruyter room. Michiel de Ruyter was one of the greatest, if not the greatest admiral in Dutch history and one of the masterminds of naval battles in the world. Obviously this room is paying homage to it. Now immediately you see this huge bed frame, again similar to the Tripp Brothers room, copper everywhere, a little bit of frame here, copper in the corners, and on top you see the beautiful chandeliers, again made out of pistols because he was an admiral, so he was probably using them. Also on the bed frame, pistols here, doesn't work. But I really want to pay attention is this manual light levers, which feel very, very cool to actually turn, and it just brings a nice soft romantic glow this lights have. As you can see, the lights, I want to show you a little bit later in the corridors, but just has a nice soft glow to it, very romantic, with that point failure rise pointing in the middle of the bed. Now I want to take you to what's most, if not the most unique bathtub ever seen in my life. Have you ever seen anything like this? It's made out of obviously it's shape of a ship, as Admiral's story goes, and it is much bigger than it shows. Gorgeous. I can definitely see myself staying in that bathtub. Now I want to pay attention to this. You might think, this is just a periscope. Oh wait, what is it? Like a binocular? One of these things. But no, this is from a 17th century battleship of navy ship of Dutch Empire, and it's actually shows which way the ship is going to move. So they will shoot here, there will be a flare going up, and 2 flares mean that I'm going to turn left, and 3 flares means I'm going to turn right. So this was actually an indicator in the back in the days. How clever is that? Now, and then you can see the views look in towards the inner gardens. There are a lot of inn gardens and green spaces in Amsterdam center. This is made in purpose so that there will be a green lung to breathe pure green air. And these are chairs from actually a 17th century ship, which you can see here, the mock-up of Michiel de Ruyter's 7 provinces ship. This is just incredible. It's so huge. It's the entire width and even more of the entire bed frame. It's definitely made out of wood and it's so gorgeous. So these chairs were in the original ship. You can see VOC mentioned in a lot of these Dutch flags. In fact, a little trivia about this flag. It was orange instead of the red in the beginning because the family Van Oranje was still in power here with the royalties, and the Oranje religion means orange. But then they changed it to red when the VOC, which was the world's biggest and first corporation, was founded in Amsterdam. That's how much power this corporation had. It had more wealth than entire countries and sometimes continents of the world. So a lot of wealth came from this city, and Michiel de Ruyter, who was admiral of this beautiful, beautiful republic, was essential part of it. Now I want to pay attention to this beautiful marble fireplace, unused obviously, and then you have this romantic shower. Again, double shower. This just seems to be the theme in this hotel, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's so big, you can easily fit here. Not just two, maybe three, maybe four, something. You know. But anyway, it's very spacious, not normal in Amsterdam. Then I want you to pay attention to this beautiful bath, toilet, also marble everywhere. Attention is being paid to incredibly good quality tiles and materials. Now you might be thinking, what is this? It's a rotor. Yes, it is, but why is there a rotor here? Check this out. This is how you open your wardrobe in this room. Am I doing right? Let's go. Whoa, come on. What is, I mean, is there any other room in the world that has this? I don't think so. It's just so gorgeous. This was originally from a 17th century naval ship, and you have your bath robes right there. And this is Michiel de Ruyter Room in Noblemen. In 1667, the Dutch were at war with the English. The English were quite busy with the Scotch and Irish, but they still had time to fight wars. Nothing has changed, has it? At that time, the Spaniards were busy in a new world in Latin America. France were busy everywhere in Europe because they liked war. And Netherlands were busy fighting off the English invasion. This guy, Michiel de Ruyter, the admiral of the Dutch Navy, had a conniving plan to break the back of the English Navy. So in 1667, he gathered a bunch of sailors, put them in a small ship, and sailed from Amsterdam towards London. He broke through a couple of barriers at the cover of darkness. He broke into the Thames River, sailed its way through the Thames, and reached a place called Medway, where they took over a naval ship of massive flagship the English Navy had called the Royal Charles. They didn't burn it, they didn't capture it, they hijacked it. They took it back from Thames, they towed it all the way out of Thames and brought it back to Amsterdam, where it is till this day. It is an incredible feat of engineering, mastery, strategic, and also commandeering. It was such a humiliating defeat for the English that it remains till this day one of the major defeats of the English Navy. In fact, two of the chairs from the Royal Charles flagship are in this room. And welcome to the top floor of Noblemen Hotel. We are in a Rembrandt Room, which is the most famous Dutch painter of all time, and immediately you see something very distinctive. This is Rembrandt himself, because the rumor goes that he actually stayed in this room. You can't say that about many hotels in the world, can you? Now you have a similar layout in this room as the previous ones, with the beautiful copper bath, and you have this distinctive painting. Actually, you'll see it as one painting. There are 4 frames, but it's one painting, because the story goes that Rembrandt had a pheasant pet that was a cheeky little bastard, and basically when he was making a painting for royalty, the little pheasant, actually jumped over paint and splashed the paint color all over his work of art, which pissed off Rembrandt so much. By the way, look how much the details are here. This is very unique. The details of the paint splash are all over the paint, the mirror, the fireplace. It's gorgeous. I really like how this glows like it's actual fire. Anyway, Rembrandt killed the little pheasant and it's still here. This is the actual pheasant with his paint on his feet still there. And here is the bed. The bed is absolutely magnificent, quite large. Again, you have to go like this into this bed, which is really unique. And it has this paying homage to Rembrandt. Oh, one thing I want to show from the other side, look at this, Michael, is that underneath the bed, you should have these, oh yeah, you do it, space. Look at that. It's just Dutch ingenuity in practice. Minibar, again, like here, and maybe this is the safe. Yes, it is. That is absolutely brilliant. And I just like the details that are the signature throughout the hotel. You have the Stronghoffels there, the story of the painter or their roomsake, and this is the Rembrandt Room. So underneath the hotel is the spa that includes in all the rooms, is complimentary. You have a Finnish sauna that can fit probably 8 normal-sized people, and really good. This shower also, it's a Turkish hammam, I think. Turkish style hammam. You'd be comfortable there, Rico. This is your kind of place. Your people. Yeah, it's a good fit there. And again, not missing the copper bath, and there is a shower. This is the spa underneath, and the story goes that in the middle of the spa there's a statue there, and the statue is actually not the strongest part of the hotel, so they didn't allow to build anything there, so it's just reinforced. But the owner decided to actually put there a beautiful statue instead of filling it up or keeping it empty. This is the room of Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, inventor of the microscope. Now, he was one of the 13 noblemen, which the name of the hotel is Noblemen, and this guy was inventor of the microscope. So you see, there is microscope references everywhere. He was in fact a draper. He used to make curtains, but he loved creating things and mending things. So he created a microscope that could see inside the blood cells or water. He found life inside of a drop of actual water. And you can see, I mean, where else do you see this kind of light on top of your beds? I mean, it's just gorgeous, such a detail. And they are real, they are actually metal. And immediately on top of it, on the ceiling, you see the portrait of Anthony van Leeuwenhoek. Imagine sitting here having a sweet time and this guy looks at you. Well, this is the detailed painting of Anthony. And you can see also some references here. The light is ricocheting from the mirror straight into the Anthony's portrait, and then here is his books. You can see him a little bit. I think you can even, should we try to, oh wow, it does open. Wow, these look, actually, are they real? These are real, they are real books. Okay, these are really books, quite old. I don't want to mess with them. All right, and then you see the fireplace that was before. You can't have fire anymore in the center of Amsterdam due to emissions prohibitions, but this is a marble, orange marble, which is quite unique. Now I want to reference you to this very cute corner where you can have your tea, your coffee, whatever you please. And then we can come a little bit, if you come a little bit closer here, you see the bathroom is kind of same in all the suites. You have the double showers again, but then there is a little trick here. Let's see if we can make it work. Come on, you have to have a TV in every room, and in every room is like this. It's embedded into the bed. Comes up quite slowly, just like my love life. But anyway, so this is it big? Does it go on automatically? I'm curious. Wait until. Does it get on? No, it doesn't turn off on the. Anyway, then we have the last. We have the last part. Now, what you see here is maybe a box, but is there anything else inside? Yes, there is. Look at this. Look at this counterweight. It reveals a bathtub, not made out of copper like in other rooms, but it's a bathtub. Let's see if Michael can you show this. And this is how the water goes on. Look at this. I've never seen a bathtub in my life like this. I don't even know how you're supposed to get in without hitting your head, but yeah, it could be. Yeah, should I get it? Yeah, I want to get it. Okay, it is small. But anyway, you have a bathtub in your room, and this is Anthony van Leeuwenhoek's room. And welcome to Herman Boerhaave's suite. You can see there is an element that is throughout this room, and that element is botany, because Boerhaave was a botanist. In fact, he was known in Europe as the doctor of Europe, universal doctor in Europe. There is an actual story about him. In fact, it goes that the Chinese emperor sent once a letter to him, just named the best doctor in the world, and the letter found him. No name, no names, no address. That's how famous Boerhaave was. There is an element here that you can see. There is a little bit of plants. Are these real? No, they're not real. Anyway, they look nice. There's a nice light, this very soft glow. Immediately, a copper bathtub, which is a signature move on this suite. There's a lot of equipment here. Obviously, this guy was not just a botanist, he was also a doctor, physician, and a chemist. Not this, worse. You can see his instruments are now turned into beautiful lights. This is a very creative hotel. A lot of the instruments, a lot of the original equipment from Boerhaave are integrated in this room, which is a very special way of doing it. Now, he was also the first one, Boerhaave was also the first one to ever show a full skeleton of human, and he moved the medicine study from theoretical to practical. So students can actually see in real time how the human body was sculptured and what were the intestines and all that kind of stuff. In fact, his students went on to found universities of Vienna, universities of many other cities, including in Spain. Now, there is a really nice glow of light here coming in from this beautiful garden, which is the only room in this hotel that has a garden. Also, by the way, look how cool these are, these vintage chairs. They're just so majestic. By the way, I've seen in each room there's a little stroomwafel, this is the signature Dutch delicacy. It's a cookie made of caramel and waffles. In each room, by the way, you have this story of the namesake of the room. So in this case, it's Herman Boerhaave, physician, botanist, and scientist, who lived from 1668 to 1738. What I like about Netherlands is that they are really good at respecting their historical figures. And here we go towards a very interesting part. Now you might ask, where is the minibar? Where is the space for putting my things? Well, say no more. Here's a safe. Look at this. I mean, this is so unique. I love it. The safe is here. And then minibar is here. This is so cool. I absolutely love it. And then there is another space here with actual tools of Boerhaave. In case you had some need of late night grooming and trimming, you have all the tools here for that. This is just so unique with USB spots and modern amenities like electricity. Which one? What is this one? Oh, your coffee and tea also. And it goes in. Does it go in smoothly? Oh, that is classic. That's classic. Again, these beautiful, but every room is paying homage to the namesake. This one is a leaf of a flower. Again, wow. I love how it goes off smoothly and on nicely. Soft glow, beautiful copper color. And then there's one more thing. Remember, this is the Noblemen Hotel. Everything in this hotel is unique and handcrafted. Behind this door is the shower. Check this out. I mean, is there another shower in this space, in this shape? No, but there's one more thing. Come with me. The access to the garden is through the shower. Look at this. Unique space in Amsterdam. And a bathtub from like 300 years ago is still here. And if you come in here, you can you can see how it's been warmed up. There is a spot there. You have to put on the hot water and the water will come from. Does it work? No, probably not. Oh, and then you have even little grapes, little actual grapes in Netherlands. I mean, global warming is not existing, huh? And it's the only part of the hotel where you can see the back of the hotel. And this is very unique. This is Dutch classical canal house architecture. You can see these bricks that are actually local because in Netherlands there aren't natural stones. So you have this back side of it with the white frame windows and so on. So this was Boerhaave's room. This is the Cornelis Drebbel room. The only room in a hotel you have a round bed. It's quite unique here. Now, Cornelis Drebbel was an inventor. He was also a pianist, but above all, he created three things that he's well known for: solar-powered pianos and organs, and a lot of machinery that you'll see around here, and most importantly, a submarine. And there is a submarine right there. The story goes that in 1620, he invented a submarine and convinced the King of England, James I, to let him experiment it in Thames, in the River Thames. He stuffed 13 people in this machine, dropped it into the Thames, and for 3 hours, everyone thought he was dead. Popped up, and he invented a functional submarine that he kept in London, where he actually lived, because King James I was so impressed by him, he hired him as his inventor in court, and he died in Scotland. And room just has this incredible atmosphere because of these long piles, long, very strong, distinctive piles of wood, obviously strong, this indigo green light color that is dominant in the room. You have these artifacts here. I'm sure he invented some of them as well. It's a small room, but it is distinctively different because it has views into the inner part of the garden, and otherwise it's following a similar pattern with copper tones around, wooden, infinite, evergreen, fade-proof furniture that stays forever for generations to come. I set out to do this series to tell stories about gorgeous buildings in Amsterdam. Some buildings have more stories to tell than humans, and we found one today. This hotel is not just discreet, not just elegant, but it oozes history. It has so much to give, it has so much to tell, and it's been there for 400 years. Imagine building something that from 400 years from now is still in existence and people still tell stories about it. Well, today, we told you the story of the Noblemen Hotel. I hope you enjoyed the connection of art, design, and history that we brought you to life. And hopefully, you'll tune in again for the next episodes of Fade Proof. Until then, enjoy Noblemen Hotel.